To hear past episodes of the Rap Radar podcast, what they got to do, B-Dot?
You got to sign up for TIDAL at tidal.com/on-air.
Yeah, that'll get you a 90-day complimentary membership.
Access to 50 million tracks and 200,000 videos.
Tidal.com on air. Yeah, Rap Radar podcast, Elliot Wilson.
It's B-Dot.
B-Dot, what's up, baby?
Yo, man.
You got your passport, man?
We got straight through customs. I didn't even have to call Drake.
It's crazy.
Because we with the boy band producer extraordinaire, Boi-1da. What's going on, Boi-1da?
What's up, man? Thank you guys for having me, man.
We come out here to see you, man.
It's amazing.
It's
Thank
your
you.
city,
You
man.
got the hottest record in North America right now, man.
It's crazy, right?
I mean,
Crazy.
10 weeks at #1, man. You and Drake already got the trophies up, and you've accomplished a lot of great things. But this run right now with the whole Scary Hours thing, and even God's Plan, 10 weeks at #1.
Yeah, this one's different. This one is special, man, and I'm just happy people appreciate it. And this is like his biggest record, and we always talked about with him, me and him, like, man, we gotta get a #1 together one day. We've been working together since day one, and we don't have like a #1 record together. So
Because Hotline Bling was his first like straight all the hits. Like
Yep.
certain records didn't go #1, right?
yeah, but like this is like a first #1 for me and him together. So without like be on his own solo song. So it's dope, man. It's really a moment, and we're just thankful of it.
is this better than the first one?
Yeah, it just feels good because, man, we came from a long way, man. We came from, I know Drake since I was 17.
Wow.
So, I've been there for the ups, the downs, everything. So this one feels really good. It feels really good. All of them feel good, but this one, it feels really
What's special about it? Why do you think it's resonating? Because it's one thing to hit #1, but to be sustaining, like his records come out all the time, like to really hold that #1 spot. I mean, I know he shot a great video, but besides the visual, like what do you think it is that people are connecting to with the record?
Other than it just being a great song, I just think that, Drake, before he put it out, took a little hiatus. And it was like, he just came from dominating the year prior. So he gave everybody a little break. And I feel like with a great song, he came back with a great song, and everybody's just excited for Drake. There's a little bit of a Drake fast going on. So now,
because he was so dominant.
Yeah.
Because he actually was your record. It was Do Not Disturb, where he said, "I'm gonna take 2018 and give you the summary."
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Now he's back at it. So I feel like everybody's just really excited for Drake, and the song is just amazing.
Right.
So, like, it's catchy as hell. Like you can't you can't deny that.
Well,
so.
I think the irony of the song is the song talks about the haters wishing on him, wishing his downfall in a sense. But to me, when I've heard like even people that like hate on Drake or whatever, everybody loves that song. Like the haters love that song. That's the irony of it. Like the people that are very critical of Drake, no one's denying that record. Like that record's hot though. I like that record.
It's a hot record, man, and it goes, and there's just moments in it. I just know, like, every time I'm in the club and they play that record, and all DJs just mute that one part.
The mama.
Yeah, with the bed and my mama, because it's just a moment,
Right.
So I remember DJing a gig right before that song came out at a festival in Montreal, and it was only a day after the song came out, and I muted that same part, and everybody knew that part. It was just a moment. So
how did you decide to drop that out? And I always feel like then your drums. I feel like when people hear drums like that, they think of you, like the drums that come in after that. Like that's a Boi-1da moment.
Yeah. No, I had to give it that knock. It's only right. It's only right.
But there's also another guy on the record, man, Cardo. Like,
Yep.
What did you do? Like, how does that collaboration work between you guys?
So the beat, and shout out to Cardo, by the way. The beat was originally started with Cardo, and I think the boy had recorded over the Cardo beat, but he just wanted a different bounce to it. So I had heard the record with just Drake rapping over that melody, and I kind of just added the percussion in there and the boom. You know what I'm saying? So
the bottom to it.
Yeah, the bottom to it, and just the bounce, and it just changed up the whole dynamic of the song. It just made it different. It sounded like a whole new song. So that was really all I contributed to it, and it was Cardo and Young Exclusive that started with the
I think
music.
Cardo said Young Exclusive gave him the first part of it. I want to talk about that. Like, how does it work now? It seems like it used to be back in the day. It seemed like people would fight over like, oh, I produced it, you produced it. But it seems like now in this era, producers are really getting along and and properly credited and doing the splits and everything goes. How does that work? Like with a record like that?
As they should, man. Like I feel like, everybody does their part, plays their part on a record. I feel like everybody should be credited. Like anybody who I work with, producers and whatnot, I always credit everybody because it's a team effort, man. And I've made hit songs by myself that I've produced by myself, but I just find it more fun to just collaborate and bounce ideas off of like somebody else. 'Cause who wants to sit in the studio just alone just making music alone. That's weird, you know.
Right.
Yeah, because you still make records at your crib, right?
Yeah,
you don't even like studios. You just come and go to do
Yeah.
business, but you're not like a studio rat that you're always.
Yeah. No, I'm a studio rat, but like I'm always in there with somebody, whether it's even somebody that doesn't even do music. Just like I like to feed off of like people's reactions to what I'm doing, or like if I'm going in a direction when I'm sitting there by myself, like I know what sounds good, but like I just feed off of that energy of somebody else saying like, oh that's kind of dope, like what you're doing right there, or like tweaking like a beat or something. And I feed off of that, and it's even better with people that make music as well, because you're just openly just collaborating.
Did you know that Drake was gonna package the songs as an EP?
I had no idea.
Okay.
I had no idea. I know I did both. I produced on God's Plan and I did Diplomatic Community as well. There were songs, but I didn't know that he was gonna do that. I trust Drake, man. Guy's a genius. So
track record is pretty good.
Yeah, I'm very exactly pretty good track record. So it's just like whatever he wants to do, I'm always riding because he's a genius, man. He doesn't fail.
But did you have a dog in a fight? Was it between God's Plan and Diplomatic Community? What was your favorite?
Man, it's like both of them do different things. So it's like I can't even like. It's like asking what's my favorite child. You know, like. I love both of them. You know what I'm saying?
It feels like a classic A-side, B-side in a sense, though, right? Like, but the B-side being good enough to be an A-side, which is different. Just because it's the harder hip-hop, right?
Exactly.
No.
I lean more towards that because I'm a hardcore hip-hop fan.
Yeah.
But, like, I love both of them because, like, it's different dynamics. You play God's Plan in the club or anywhere else, you get different reactions. In Diplomatic Community, you get different reactions. So,
right.
It's just different purpose, you know?
Why have you always been the guy that creates the canvas for Drake to air it out? Like, that's what Diplomatic Community is an example of, right? Like, you always seem like you are the one who provides the templates that inspire him to, like, really, like, on an MC front, like, air it out. Like, if this was his flex freestyle, these are the bars. Like, that kind of element he always brings to your tracks.
Yeah. I don't know what it is. I think maybe it's because, like, we've been working together for so long, and we just have that understanding. Or it's just the fact that, like, my production is so simple but wide at the same time. Like, I like to create a canvas with minimal on it, so it gives him room to maneuver on it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like a painting. Like, you want to give the artist a canvas, but like leave it as blank as possible. You know, so I feel like that's the dynamic with me and him and the understanding, and I just know kind of like when he wants to vent, what the sound is that he's going for. Like, I've been working with him a long time. You know, so, yeah.
But did you know he was going to take it there lyrically on Diplomatic Community?
Oh yeah, he always does. He does this thing. You give him a beat where he can get off on, he gets off.
Right.
He gets off, boy. I tell you that.
It seems like like you said, the track record speaks for itself.
Oh yeah, definitely. You just gotta give him that track, and it is what it is. From there, I just go like this. I just back up.
So they're like favorite lines. Like, how do you experience it? Like, do you like he sends it back to you, and you're like, wow, he really went there with it, or like, what's that process of the exchange?
Yeah, I'll like come in and listen to it. He'll be like, I'll know exactly when he rocks with the beat. So, I mean, he'll tell me to come in and listen, and I'll just be like, he'll play me when he's like halfway done, and I'll just be like, yeah, like he never fails. Like it's just like I don't have to worry. Like even if he doesn't play it for me, like I don't have to worry. I know he's gonna kill it every time.
Yeah,
like he's been consistently doing that since we were kids. You know, so it's just something where I don't even have to worry at this point. Just like you just like let him go. You just give him the beat, and it's just like, yeah, go do your thing, bro.
Does he get first dibs though?
Oh, always. Always. He always gets first dibs, man. That's my brother, man. Like, like we came up together, so it's always first dibs, Yeah.
And you with the less is more thing, which you always say about your production. I think you were saying that actually started even from working with Drake. Like one of the early records, like City Is Mine or something. He came in and was like, no, let's strip it down. Like,
it's true. He actually taught me a lot as a producer. I used to put a lot of music in my beats, like oversaturated to a point where it's like, man, how do you write to this? There's like a million things going on. And for example, City Is Mine was one of those tracks where Drake really came in and was like, yeah, no, take this out. And I was like ripping my hair out. I was like, what are you doing, man? You taking away from the beat, man. But like, after listening to it,
you're ruining my beat.
But no, after listening to it and hearing what he did with it, I'm just like, I get it. Like, okay, like there's more room for you to dance on it. You know what I'm saying? So, after a while of working with him, I came to realize that less is more, and I just started doing that with my production.
Does the rap fan love when he says controversial stuff? Because a lot of the controversial content comes out in your records. Like he'll go from like talking about trying to reach out to J-Lo to Boi-1da got the bounce back. Like
Hey, shit.
What do you mean?
I just like, you know what I'm saying? I'm just here for the music, man. He can say whatever he wants to say, but I love it. As a listener, as a fan, and like he's my bro. I just love it when he snaps.
Yeah.
He snaps on my beats. Yeah.
Somebody, I'm sorry, go ahead, Peter.
I was gonna say about other people this year. I mean, it seems like you're on a hell of a run.
Trying my best, man. Trying my best right now.
So like a record like G-Eazy, No Limit, like how does that not go to Drake?
It's crazy. I did play that for him. He might have been the first person to hear that. But you know, like, I mean, sometimes every beat is not for everybody. Even as hard as it is, like, man, like people would hear like G-Eazy, No Limit and be like, man, you could have gave that to Drake. But like, it's not every beat that every artist can vibe with. Like, it might be the dopest beat ever, but it's like not in his zone at the moment. Like, he's not like trying to make a song on a beat like that. Like, he's a very specific guy. Yeah. So it's like, and every artist is very specific. So it's almost like a thing. You have to catch an artist at the right time and the right mind frame. Yeah. And God willing, it's been happening a lot recently. So
but it seemed like a different energy even for G-Eazy. Like, how did he connect to that track in your judgment? Like why was he the right person to give that track to? And
what's so insane about that story is I've been supposed to get in the studio with G for a long time.
All the connections.
Yeah, we have a mutual friend, me and Jamil, his manager. We're supposed to get in forever. Shout out to Juice. We were supposed to get in forever, and we finally got it. We were in the same place at the same time, so we're like, let's make this happen. That was actually the first beat. As soon as he walked in, we chopped it up for a little bit, and that was the first track I played for him. And he's like, oh shit, load that up. Wow. Everything just came into place. It was just a beautiful.
It felt natural.
Yeah, because Rocky stumbled in the room. Like, he was working in the room upstairs. We didn't even know he was there. And he's just like, what up, fool? Like, he just walked in, and then he heard the track, too, while it was going off. Yeah. And he was just like, yo, let me lay something down on this. Wow. Yeah. And then Rocky just went in the booth, freestyled that shit. Yeah. Literally, that was a freestyle. Like, I
hit it one time.
I was like, that's dope. And then we all just sat in there and, like, pieced it all together. Finished that song in literally like a few hours. Wow. So,
is it always that seamless or not?
No, it's not. It's not. Sometimes it's a process, but that one came together really quick. It was just fun. Yeah. It was really fun. Like, G came in there and brought the alcohol that he has, and we were just all getting wasted.
What alcohol is it? I don't know. It's going to be that.
Wow, I don't know. I have the worst memory ever, but I forget. It looks like it's in this like gasoline bottle. Okay. It's dope, but yeah, we just got lit and just had fun. We did 2 records that day. Yeah. And they were both on the go.
Maybe he was banned, because I remember he said something like he had his original verse wasn't on the original, right? Like, it got lost or something. Like, Rocky had a verse in the original version, right?
Unless he did something after, but I really seen him just get in the booth and do that freestyle, and then he went out. We went back to his room, like, not that long after. He didn't even chill that long. Oh, okay. It was like an in and out kind of thing. And then afterward, he got Cardi B on the record.
Yeah, how did that work out?
Well, I specifically don't know. They just hit me one day. They're like, yo, we're thinking of putting Cardi B on the record. What do you think? And I was like, oh, hell yeah. Cardi B's hot. Yeah. She's dope.
And she likes it. And now you just did Be Careful. And like a lot of controversy with that record because it's like a different sound for her. Yeah. Like, I like the record a lot. But I love it. Some people were saying, like, you know, why did she have somebody sing the hook part? Like, what's your take on that?
I think it was such a personal song that, you know, like, she just let loose on it herself and, you know, sang the hook herself. And what she's talking about is really personal, you know? I feel like she really, like, put a piece of herself out there on that song, like a situation that may be going on with her, and she killed it, man. Like, I don't know why everybody's tripping over it. I feel like everybody expected a certain sound from her because she's been coming with just straight bangers, and she
high energy, aggressive,
exactly. Yeah. And she came with something laid back with bars, like, so I was like, why you guys mad? She's rapping her ass off on this shit. Yeah, it's crazy. So
how did that work out? You knew you were gonna be part of her album? Like, how did you guys get involved? You and Vinyls did that one,
right?
Yeah,
me, Vinyls, and Frank Dukes as well. Frank Dukes. Yeah, it's a track we all worked on like a little bit ago, and I haven't till this day I haven't met Cardi yet. It was just the relationship was through Vinyls. I think Vinyls actually Vinyls knew her from way back, so I think he got the beat over to her, and the rest is history. Yeah.
Be careful.
Be careful.
Be very careful.
But to me, that's potential to be still, despite the criticism, that's potential to be a top 10 hit.
Oh yeah. I think it's gonna land there, and I think it's gonna do well. I think it just caught people off guard, and sometimes you gotta let music just marinate, man. Like, sometimes people really expect to like listen to something and it's just gonna hit you right away, and it's you know what I'm saying. Sometimes things just gotta marinate, and I feel like that's one of those records. it's a great record.
Do you feel like it's a lot of pressure on you because you have so much success with chart topping hits? Like people expect things to be out the gate with you?
They might expect that, but it's not like that. You know, I'm just like a volume shooter. Like I'll just take my shots. I take my risks. I work with anybody who I think is dope, and I'm never worried about if somebody doesn't like a song I produce, because it's art at the end of the day. You know, not everybody's gonna like your shit. So
yeah,
I mean, I'm just doing the best I can. God willing, everything is just going crazy that I've been doing lately, and yeah, it's not a thing where I think about it like that. Like, oh man, is this gonna be like a big record? Like I'm just making music, to be honest.
Right. And then the run you was on a couple years back, the 2016 run, I heard interviews where you were saying like people start talking about how music changed and it was so much trap stuff, and then now we have this dance hall vibe, these island vibes, and you're to blame for that, the good and the bad, right? You literally changed the sound of the music in 2016 with the Rihanna work, the Drake Controller. Like, talk about like your mind state of like really just, because to me that's not just making impact in hip hop, that's making impact across all music in terms of the sound.
Thank you. Like worldwide, it was amazing, but definitely it came from a conversation with me and like a few friends. We were just talking about old school dancehall music. I came up on dancehall. Before I even listened to hip hop, I would strictly only listen to dancehall. I didn't even like hip hop. Yeah, right. I was born in Jamaica. I came up here when I was 4, so I had strictly a dancehall household. My dad only listening to dancehall, so I just remember the vibes that I used to get from dancehall back in the days, like New Sean Paul and Beanie Man, Bounty Killer, and all those, and the house party vibes with like, I mean, down here, like when I was in high school, we used to have house jams, and everybody go downstairs, you find a girl bubbling on a girl to dancehall music. It's like dark, sweaty, like crazy. You know what I'm saying? I'm like,
look at V-Dot. Look at V-Dot there.
He's reminiscing. Yo, that's crazy. I just missed those vibes, and I was like, yo, I want to bring that energy, man.
You started turning up in the club. Trap.
I'm like, I want the girls to turn up too. You know what I'm saying? Like, they turn up to trap too, but like with that, when work dropped, it was a different kind of turn up. You know,
don't hit me with your elbow.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, girls were going crazy and whatnot. So that was really the vibe. I did like work and like Controller too. That was the vibe I was on. I was just like, I want a different kind of energy in the club, and that definitely brought a whole new energy. So,
and work was first, right?
Yeah, work was first.
Now, was that something that, because Party wrote the record, his demo had leaked out, was that intentionally for Rihanna at first, or was that a Party record? Or?
Yeah, no, that was for Rihanna. They were working at the time, and that was when I had I wasn't able to make it to the studio with them, so I had just sent Party a little pack, and he flipped 2 out of those with Rihanna. They did both those together. Did Work and Sex With Me on her album.
And Sex With Me was a bonus, right? We were talking earlier. It's like a lot of times some of your records don't make the album. Like you have like a secret catalog of other bangers.
Yeah, like some bonus records.
Bonus choice, bonus Boi-1da. Yeah,
exactly. And that's crazy because a lot of the times I'll just come in there like last minute. Stuff's already finished, but they're trying to squeeze like we did a record and it's so good they're trying to squeeze it on anywhere. So
yeah, because Sex With Me became a hit on its own after the album already had put up huge numbers.
Yeah, exactly. So that was a great song too. That was a good one. They did that together as well, Party and Rihanna. So they got a great chemistry together.
But when things like that happen, because I was looking at the hip hop discography, like the Nicki Minaj, Chirac, the Drake,
he loves Chirac.
Chirac is a crazy. Like those joints don't exist; it just exists on their own independently. They're not on a particular project. But is that like a bummer for you, or do you just want to that people hear the record?
At this point, I just like the high for me is like enjoying people enjoy the music. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, that song wasn't on the album or nothing, but man, I heard maybe like 100 rappers freestyling on that beat, and it was just a big record. Like, I'm just enjoying it.
The website rapper, we made that like the best beat of the year that year when it came out. So,
crazy, yeah. But like at this point, like obviously I might sound crazy. Like obviously everybody loves money and everybody wants to get paid, but like my real joy and excitement is people just enjoying the music. Like that's where that's the real high for me in this. Like, you know, people do it for money. Like obviously I do it to get paid too, but like that stuff doesn't matter to me. And I feel like when that's your mindset, you make better music like that. I just want people to be excited by my music.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, an artist that you seem to be excited about too is Joyner Lucas.
Yeah.
And what is it about him that attracted you?
About Joyner Lucas, a friend had put me onto his music. Bishop Brigante, a rapper from Toronto, had just sent me a video one day, and he's like, "Yo, listen." He's just watched this video. It's 7 minutes long, and I was like, 7 minute long video. He's like, trust me, it's worth it. I was like, all right, let me watch it. It was the video for Ross Cappuccini. So I watched it. It was 7 minutes long, and the way he told that story, it was like a real story of Ross Cappuccini, a kid from Detroit that got shot. He told that story so vividly. I was like, damn, like I haven't heard anybody storytell in hip hop like the way he just did for a while. And when I found out he directed the video as well, and like he was just involved in every aspect of the song, I had to get in touch with him, and I hit him up, and me and him just been mad cool ever since, man. We talk almost every day, and he's a special artist, man. And we're working on a crazy project right now together. I just can't wait for people to hear it. It's like a breath of fresh air.
And you signed him to your label, right?
Yeah, not to my label. We did a deal with Atlantic, and we have something more direct. We have a more direct deal, but
you're like EP his album.
Yeah, because at the time when I did it, I didn't have my situation, my label situation at the time. So I just did something direct. But man, he's a special artist. I just can't wait for people to hear this body of work that he's working on right now, because it's really vivid, and it's just different, and it's rap at a high level, and it's just something. It's like a breath of fresh air, man, I haven't heard for a long time.
Yeah, I'm sure you've been looking for talent to connect to.
Oh, of course,
new talent,
of course. And it's not that I'm like getting like sick of everything that's going on, but it's just like it's so different. It's so left field to everything that's happening. That I want it to be a part of it. So,
is this the reason why you decided to launch your label, One Music Records?
Yeah. A lot of that is the reason too. I felt like, I had offers years ago to do a label and whatnot, but I feel like right now was the right time to do a label for me. So, yeah, I have a lot of music that I want people to hear, and a lot of ideas like that are straight from me that I want people to hear. And I'm coming up with a compilation album as well. Really dope. I'm working with a lot of artists, a lot of everybody's favorite artists, on songs that are like put together by me, and it's gonna be great. I just feel like it's the right time to do it. So. It wasn't before, but now is the right time.
Dope. And you always in business. I mean, I saw an interview where you were saying like, best I ever have. People that don't know, that was your breakthrough. You know, Drake's first big hit was produced by you. But even back then, like a lot of times, young producers get offered publishing deals, and a lot of times people say, "Don't take the deal so early," blah blah. But you took a deal early. Like, can you explain why that was right, and how you learned about the business of, getting paid well for your productions and stuff like that?
I took a publishing deal early because I was broke as shit, bro. Like, honestly, like I really needed the money. And, it just depends on your situation. But at the time, like, I really needed it. So I don't regret it at all because, it was fast. I got out of it quickly. And I don't regret it. I work hard, and I knew that it wouldn't be anything that would be too binding for me because I work really hard. If I'm not doing any other thing, I'm doing music. So I work really hard, and I felt like it was good. But sometimes it's not always good for everybody to take that money off the rip, for different reasons. But I felt like, I thought about it a lot, and I was like, I'm gonna do this because this is gonna change life for my family, which it did. The first thing I did was, as soon as I got my publishing deal, I paid my parents' house off. That was a huge relief for me. Before I did anything, I didn't buy a car, I didn't buy anything for myself. My parents were struggling to pay for the home. Got rid of that.
Wow.
Helped all my family with a bunch of stuff, and it really lifted a lot off of me, where I was able to solely think about music. I wasn't sitting there stressing about my family because, we were going through a little bit of a struggle, and myself, I was going through a struggle. So it helped me out a lot. So
did your parents support you in your music endeavors?
Yeah, they did.
Because you know how it is from a West Indian household. Like,
oh yeah, I know. Trust me, my mom, she's supportive. My dad is super supportive. My mom was. She's a realist. She's a Jamaican woman, so you already know how that goes. So she was, she was supportive of it, but she also let me know, like, listen, don't put your eggs in one basket. You're putting your eggs in one basket. You're really risking things right now, and
they didn't believe it. I saw something you said that, like, they loved you and supported you, but they didn't necessarily believe in the dream.
But you can't really blame them. Like, my mom comes from poverty in Jamaica. Like, that's all she knows. All she knows is what she was told is like, okay, you gotta come to Canada. Your son you gotta get him into university. He has to be a doctor, like, or a surgeon, or whatever. You know what I'm saying? You gotta get a trade. Like, that's all that's instilled back home. You know what I'm saying? That's the dream. Stuff like doing music, becoming successful in music, is unrealistic to somebody that only knows poverty in a third world country. Like Jamaica's a third world country. So, you know, my dad coming from the situation he's in, and my mom, they're just like, what are you doing? Like, you're risking it. You have so many opportunities to do this. We're in Canada. Like, we're not in Jamaica anymore. You could do so many things, but you want to do music. It's unsure. And I just made them know. I'm like, listen, I'm sure that I want to do this, and I'm going to work my hardest. And I did it, you know. Like, I tirelessly worked on my craft, and I came through, man. I just didn't take my eyes off the prize. So, really and truly, like, if you really want something, anybody can go get it. It's just how bad you want it, and I wanted it bad. I told my parents, I'm like, I want this really bad, like, so you don't have to worry about me. Like, I want this, and I'm gonna get it.
And I told you something earlier, like you were so self-taught in the beginning. Your beats weren't that great, and then the beat battle thing. Talk a little about that. Like literally beat battles has kind of been a breakthrough for your career. Like that scene.
Beat battles definitely helped me a lot because, like, where I live right now and where I grew up half of my life, it's an area called Durham, and you know there's not much going on out there. I was really an inside kid, quiet kid. And like I never won anything ever in my life, like nothing. So, you know, the thought of going to like a beat battle to compete against 32 producers that are naming equipment that I never even heard of, like, yo, man, some guy was like, yo, man, I used the ASR 10, like 47 module. I'm like, I'm 17 years old. I'm like, I never heard of none of this stuff. I'm scared out of my mind.
Fruity Loops, man. Yeah, Fruity Loops.
Exactly. I'm like, I use Fruity Loops. I'm scared, man. Like, I'm 17. These are all grown men. You know, like, I didn't know what to expect. But kind of when I heard the first track, I was like, oh, okay. Like, okay. I heard, like, first few people went before me, and I was like, these guys are not that good. So I was like, I might have a chance. So, yeah, I went, and I just went up there, and I killed it. I won the first time, and I won, like, 3 years straight. Almost 4 years straight, but they robbed me.
Oh, man.
The fourth one. They're
just
tired to see me.
Is that on video?
That's on video. It's on video.
Really?
It's on video.
Was you tight? You was mad?
I was mad, but not for too long. But like, I definitely got robbed, man.
So what is it like to win? Do you get money? Do people cheer? Like, is there a big reveal at the end? Like, how does it? Is it the whole ceremony?
So basically, the way the competition is set up is 3 judges, and a crowd, and an MC, and it's just all reaction. So it's like the crowd. Usually if the crowd is going crazy, usually like you're gonna win, and the judges too. Like sometimes people will bring people to the events, and like you could tell like when a section of people are cheering for like one person, you know that he brought them there. So I don't know. I came with nobody. I literally came with my boy Ricky. Came with him, and
shout out Ricky.
Yeah, shout out Ricky, man. Shout out Ricky, man. Yeah,
did Ricky think he was gonna win, or was he just trying to hold you down?
Honestly, Ricky was just like, yo, I'm just pulling up, like, you know, we're just gonna see what's going on. Like, well, I didn't know I was gonna win. I was shocked, man. I was shocked. I came home and I told my parents like I won, and they're like, whoa, serious? And it was good because I met a lot of people through that. I met a bunch of artists out here. I got in touch with Socrates. Yeah, he was a huge artist out here at the time. I got in touch with D10, who actually introduced me to Drake. Yeah, right. So. Yeah, I met a lot of people.
You worked with Cardo early too, I think.
Yep, right? Cardinal was through that as well. I think somebody that knew him was there and put us in touch. So yeah, it was a great experience, much necessary experience for my confidence.
You definitely. Still got that competitive fight because you and Pierre Bourne was just doing a sound clash with Drake at the
I missed that
Boi-1da World Tour.
Yeah, it's crazy. Every night, me versus Pierre Bourne. It was dope.
Yo, Pierre, come out here.
Yeah, Pierre definitely came out there.
Did you win every night?
Definitely won every night.
That's what's up. You said
shout out to Pierre. He's great, man. Yeah. Great kid, dope, talented.
So out of the battles, I saw you said something that was probably a good tip for producers, that some of the secret to your production is that you change things up often, right? Like after every 4 bars or something like that. You said different elements need to be in the mix.
Yeah, like production to me is like a roller coaster ride. You just gotta give people different emotions, like different, like the beat dropping out, filter, something. It gotta just change, and like it gotta be like the up and down effect of like a roller coaster ride for everybody to get them excited and get them to focus on what's going on. So it's definitely that.
How did Belly get you to focus, man, to just doing the whole project together for mumble rap?
You know what's crazy? A lot of people don't know. Me and Belly did that project in maybe like 3 days. Like we honestly, like I wanted to like sit and work on something like way longer and like, but he's just like, forget it, man. Let's do this in 3 days and put this shit out. I was like, bet, I'm with it. And I literally pulled up on Belly. I just had the beat pack on me. I think I made one beat and adjusted one beat there, but he was just ready to rap, and I was like, this is perfect. You know, I just was just playing beats, and he was just spazzing out. So, yeah, Belly's
I
a
know
killer,
he really
man.
wanted to work with you for a while, right?
Yeah, but I've worked with Belly in the past, but like we really wanted to sit and work with each other. So I'm glad we finally got the time to do it, and we're definitely gonna do that again. So.
Has there always been a passion to like work, kind of like how No ID did with Jay-Z, do a whole album together, just exclusively?
Yeah, that's definitely like a dream for me, and it's not only like I want to do it with like a lot of people, you know, like this, it's not like Belly's not the only person. It just gotta be the right vibe. Like me and Belly definitely caught a vibe, and we're just like, yo, let's do this, let's put this out and put it out, and it's great, man. People loved it. It's great. He bodied everything.
Right.
Yeah.
What was this on the Lullaby record?
Lullaby
He got
was
real
hard.
personal certain records. So how did you create an environment that you think made him comfortable to like be so revealing in some of the songs?
It was really just like us sitting in the studio and just talking and vibing, and it was just like the conversation, whatever the conversation was leaning towards, whatever he felt like doing, I just felt like I had a track for everything. So I was like, you know, that was an already finished track, and I just played the beat, and he's just like, yeah, this is something like I want to just get off on. So it just happened every time, and it was just organic, and it just all came together. And like 3 days, I think it was might have been 3, 2, maybe 4 days. It was really short. We didn't spend a lot of time on it. Yeah.
What do you like about him as an artist? I feel like he's obviously good, but I feel like he's striving to get to another level, you know, and he's very passionate about it. Like, what do you think is special about him as an artist that sticks out to you?
Belly, what's special to me about him is his rapping, man. Like he can paint a picture so vividly with his raps, and he just got bars. You know what I'm saying? And it's just something brand new. It's like a whole new perspective on certain things. What he's talking about, like the song that we did, "Immigration to the Trap."
Yeah.
Like, you know, he's just giving like a whole new perspective in his own way, over something that's kind of familiar, like production that's kind of familiar. So he just put it in a whole new perspective, and I felt like he executed it perfectly. Yeah.
How do you stay creative at this point? Because like, are you a digger? Do you like find samples? Like, how do you?
The way I stay creative is I literally just sometimes I just let my music just breathe, and I don't make music. I don't necessarily dig. I'll like hear something out of nowhere, and I'll just be like, you know, that sounds cool. I feel like I could sample that, or you know, I'll hear like an idea from somebody. I'll be cooling with another producer, and he'll play some keys that I like, and I'll definitely flip that into something. I just don't force anything. I like wait till the feeling comes to me, and that's basically.
I saw something where you said you always have to be sparked. I think with like the Jay-Z Rick Ross record that turned into a Jay-Z Rick Ross record. Fuck with me, you know, you got it. Like it really was Vinyl's melody that like. So when you hear something, then it's like that's when it's like go time, and then you just really deconstruct a track in a sense, right?
Yeah, I can't believe that because he was about to delete that. He's like, bro, I'm gonna play you this, but I might delete it because I don't like it. I'm like, boy, you're crazy.
What's that? Dun, 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 that part?
Yeah, and that's what sparked.
You know, I got it.
Yep, and that's what sparked the whole song, and we built the whole track off of that, and we got it over to Ross, and Ross did his thing on it, and he kind of told me the story of how he was in the studio with Hov, and he played it, and Hov was just like, yeah, I need to jump on this, and I need it, so.
He took it.
Yeah.
He said Khaled had called you, right? Khaled Ross. So what was that phone call like?
Epic. Can you just imagine what that was like? Khaled and Ross on the phone. Like Khaled, the way Khaled is and the way Ross is, and it was just like they told me they broke down the whole story to me of what happened, and I'm not gonna do no impressions or nothing, but it was just it was just epic, man. It was epic, and I was happy about that because I mean, growing up, I listened to Jay-Z growing up, and you just find out you're doing a song with him that's on the album.
Yeah,
it's a feeling that can't be described, you know.
It started with Pound Cake. Like, correct me if I'm wrong. I think I remember when I did the Drake Crown, he was saying that he took those verses from Jay at first, right? Because that was on a record he had heard that Jay played him for Magna Carta, and then he asked for not just the one verse but both verses. And then Jay usually doesn't send out his acapellas or send out his verse like that. But he sent those verses out to be part of Pound Cake, right?
Yeah, it's true. And I ended up flipping the beat over the verses, and it just came together so well. Yeah, it came together, and
so what's that like? Like as a producer, just okay, the Jay-Z vocals are in. Like I'm just kidding.
I was like, is this real? So, but it worked out perfectly, man. I just, like I said, the less is more thing. I just wanted to get a feeling over the beat, so I didn't put too much on it, and it was an idea. One of my boys, Jordan Evans.
Yeah, Jordan with Daniel Caesar and all those guys.
Yeah, I produced that with Jordan Evans and Matt Burnett, who produced everything for Daniel Caesar. And it was just a vibe. It was a totally different beat. I kind of stripped it down from what they had and put it right over the vocals, and then added my thing to it and some chords, and then it just all came together. It was beautiful, and Drake really loved it.
Yeah, and Jay liked it, I
guess. But another rapper that you know provided this landscape for to get his stuff off was with Kanye and Real Friends. Like, did you know he was gonna take it there on that record?
Yeah, honestly, I didn't know he was gonna take it there. That record was so special. I was so happy about it when I finally heard the finished product. But I ended up going out to Paris to work with him, and I spent a week out there. And it's so crazy. My computer broke. Something happened. I don't even know what happened. My thing, it just turned off, stopped working. Wow. And I was really out there working with Charlie Heat off his computer, and me and him were just building vibes. And that was a track that I already had, but Kanye had stripped down the track and stripped the sample and the bass line. The sample was a Frank Duke sample, and my bass line, and and he had taken some drums from a Havoc beat and just smashed it all together.
Right.
And I was like, damn, that's like genius. Like, he just really just orchestrated everything and put what he wanted together.
Right.
And I didn't get to hear the song while he was doing it or anything, but when I heard it, it just came out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But Kanye's another one, man. I would never. Anything that's in the hands of Kanye, I'm just like, yeah, do your thing, man. You don't ever disappoint. Like, I've never heard a bad Kanye album, and like Kanye doesn't disappoint. So I was really happy about that one.
I think you're saying like he had such a vision. I think you were saying that he was like rapping Famous in the studio. Like, he already had the whole song laid out, but he didn't have a beat for it.
He's looking for a beat for that song, but yeah, man, he's just filled with ideas, man. That was the first day I ever met him, and he just has so much energy, and like, he's just so excited to do music. So that was a cool session. I spent maybe like 4 hours with him, just playing tracks and working on different stuff. And then when the session was over, he went out to the lobby of the studio, and him and King Los got into a freestyle battle. So everybody, it was like crazy, because I go downstairs, everybody's watching Kanye and Los battle each other. I'm like, what's going on? This is insane. So it was a crazy moment.
Is it still crazy? Because you are a super producer in your own right, but like rubbing shows with Jay and working with Kanye, is it ever, like, I guess, still feel surreal?
It does feel surreal, because I don't get out as much as people think I do. Like, I'm really inside kind of person. I'm not really around a lot, but it's surreal to me the fact that I'm working with all these people that I grew up listening to, like grew up listening to Kanye, being influenced by Kanye, influenced by Jay-Z, Pharrell, Dr. Dre, Timbaland, you know, and actually being in the studio with Dre. Like, I was in the studio with Dre like a few months ago. I got a good relationship with Timbaland. We talk all the time. So it's just really a dream come true, and it definitely is surreal, because these are guys I really studied coming up. So.
And also the people that don't know, like, talk a little about Vinyls and Wonder Girl and these people. Like, you're the OG to them in a sense, right? Like, you put on a lot of talent, and like, they look to you for leadership, right?
Crazy, yeah. And like, Vinyls, I met Vinyls when I think he was 14, and Wonder Girl really young too. I think 15 or 14. I actually mentored her at the Remix Project. But these are just people that I just always believed in. I always believed in Wonder Girl. She was always dope. Something special about her. Same with Vinyls. He's hilarious, but there's always something special about his production. He just always had cool, interesting stuff, and these are just guys I took a chance with. They're great people, and I just always believed in them, and you know, it worked out like I always thought it would.
The same with Matt and Jordan too. You met them in high school, then a couple years later, you got a diamond record.
That was insane. But I met Jordan. I knew Jordan first because I was really tight with his sister, and she wanted me to teach Jordan how to make beats because he was showing interest in that. So I've known him when he was young too, and it was just, you know, just mentorship stuff. I feel like I never had that coming up. I never had anybody teach me anything. I didn't have YouTube or nothing. So I took it upon myself, like, when there's people close to me and they want to learn, I literally go out of my way sometimes to show them little things here and there. Like, some of them know stuff already, so I don't have to say much. Like Wonder Girl, she basically knew everything, so I didn't have to teach her much, but I just believed in her. I just knew she would get to where she is right now. And same with Vinyl, same with Jordan, Matt, all these other guys too.
Is it hard at this point in the game to, like, bring people underneath your wing because you're so, you know?
No, I don't find it hard at all. I think it's a good thing to just mentor. It's just where we come from. There wasn't a lot going on out here, so I try to take it upon myself just to like be that person, and for my own personal, my own personal stuff, So
yeah,
I don't mind at all. And even if like it goes sour, which it never does, I can't really recall any relationship going sour. It's just for myself, to give back.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. What do you make of Drake's development? Because like you said, for people to know, you was part of Room Improvement, Comeback Season, everything. Mm-hmm. Once you get to the era of the albums, like, because Thank Me Later comes out, right? And after that, leads to Take Care. And I think you did Headlines, right?
Yeah.
Like, but that's your only placement on that record. Like, why was that your only placement on that record?
That was my only placement on that record because at the time, I had a lot going on in my life at that time. I was having a kid at the same time, and it was just a shitload of things going on. So I was more focused on raising my kid than making music at the time and worrying about other stuff. So I didn't get much time to work on Take Care with Drake. Yeah. But then I also introduced Drake to T- at the same time, and he kind of filled in for me.
Yeah, you went to high school with him, right?
Yep. Yeah. Went to high school. Me, T-, Jordan, Matt, we all went to the same high school. Yeah. Pretty epic high school.
But like Headlines though was crazy. The lead. Headline though was the lead single though.
Yeah.
You're proud of that though. Like, I think you had said something that Drake said he wanted something that sounded triumphant.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, at that time he was really going for a triumphant sound for the come out single. So, it's crazy. I kind of whipped that up. I was making something super insane for him and he didn't really like it. So I whipped up something quick and I sent it over to him and he liked that better. So I was like, perfect. And it all worked out.
Yeah.
Can you still listen to your records after they become monster hits?
Yeah, I can listen to them, but they sound like, it's almost, I don't want to hear them sometimes because I feel like as a producer, I've gotten so much better. So it's a little bit difficult to go back. Sometimes I'll hear old records that I've done and I'll like, it's not like a cringe thing, but it's just like, oh man, I could have done so much better. I could have changed this. I could have, but I just live with it,
What areas do you think you improved on?
I just improved in general on my sound and knowing what I want with music and just tightening up everything, mixes, just everything. I think there's a point where I sounded kind of amateur, but people like that, the fact about it, but like it's definitely matured over time.
Yeah. Speaking of growing as an artist, back to Drake with terms of like, obviously he's making these hit records and the singing element of it, but then, he's getting his bars off too and like leading up to like 0 to 100. Like, why was that record coming off after Nothing Was the Same? That was a Lucy. Like, why was it important, you think, to put that record out? Nothing Was the Same was still kind of already out. Why did 0 to 100 come out? Why was that important to release?
For him, I think it was summertime, and he's just like, man, I want to just pop off something crazy for the summer. I feel like that was the moment for him, and he was just like, this is the record that I want to put out, and let the summer go crazy. I think it was that record and the Bobby Shmurda record that summer that was really the popping records that summer. And if you notice Drake, he likes to do that. He likes to put out a summertime anthem. He's been doing it for a pretty long time now.
Yeah. But that was riddled in controversy with the whole Puffy thing. Like, was that really supposed to be his record? Like, why was that? Why did it become a Drake?
You heard the yeah, that was a whole crazy
situation. We're past it now. They're friends. Everybody's friends.
Yeah. It was a bit of a misunderstanding. I won't get into crazy detail with that, but it was a misunderstanding on both ends, and they solved the situation.
Yeah.
And I'm glad because we don't need those guys to be mad at each other. And, we're all doing this. We should all be working together and just bettering everybody. So I'm glad that everything with that situation is solved. But yeah,
that's a dope record.
Right? Yep, it's a very dope record. One of my favorite.
Another dope record that you worked on was To Pimp a Butterfly. I think you tweeted or said in an interview that it was a dream come true to be on that project. Why in particular?
It was a dream come true because Kendrick is literally one of my favorite artists. So just to work with him and be a part of anything he was doing was a pleasure and was an honor. And for a record to be, and it was a hard record, so and it was
Black
political.
Black of the Berry.
Black of the Berry was political. He was really saying something impactful. He had the performance of the Grammys with the police cars and, that's what Kendrick does. So he just executed that perfectly, and I was just so glad to be a part of that body of work. To Pimp a Butterfly is such a great album, and I always just wanted to work with Kendrick. I've been knowing him for years, and we've worked a few times prior, but we finally ended up getting the right record.
Right. Yeah. And you helped with the hook on that, right? The original idea of the hook.
Yeah, it was his idea to get a reggae artist on the hook, and the hook was just basically a translation of a hook that me and an artist named Izquierdo had wrote previously, and Kendrick's idea was to get a reggae artist to just redo the whole hook, and it just made sense because he basically made the hook his own. It didn't sound anything like we did, but he was talking about the same stuff. So that was my first time I ever tried writing anything, so it was pretty cool.
Are you still writing?
I try here and there, but it's just something I'm slowly getting into. I'm not really, I'm not that guy.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I'm more melodic with everything and with the beats and whatnot, so, I'm just trying my best.
I was going to get some Boi-1da bars.
I got some. I'm going to give you some bars one day, man. Like 5 Fingers of Death freestyle or something like that. One of these days,
Wait, can you rap?
I can rap gifts.
Close enough.
Yeah. Nah, I do it sometimes here.
Okay.
Just, gotta get a little alcohol in me, I'll definitely give you like 73 bars.
Right.
Yeah, tough eight for you.
Yeah. Or 8.
Speaking of tough, so after the Drake Pussy's album 0 to 100, we go to If You're Reading This Too Late. You was executive producer of that, right? Like, so what was that like? He's calling it a mixtape. Was that kind of a showcase to kind of show this harder, more kind of hardcore MC side of Drake? Like, was that the intent of that project?
I think his intent on If You're Reading This was just to go off. Like, he was just in a mood where he just wanted to get a lot of things off his chest, and he just came off doing Nothing Was the Same. It was a lot of rap on that album, but a lot of melody. So he was just focused on bars and just club anthems for this album, and we stayed close for the album. Like, a lot of the times, me and Drake worked from afar, but we were really close. I had one on tour with him, the Drake and Lil Wayne tour, and I cooked up some tracks on the tour bus, and he had a studio bus, and we really worked close on that album. So that was just beautifully executed, and he killed everything, man. That's one of my favorite albums from him.
Yeah, the album celebrated, but obviously we also riddled it with the Clinton Miller controversy. Like, does that bother you when people try to discredit him or as a songwriter?
Yeah, it does, because I think Drake is literally one of the greatest songwriters of all time. Like, literally, he's there, and he writes his own songs. And, for somebody to try and discredit somebody like that I've literally seen write songs like he's writing an essay, it bothers me because I'm close to it, I know he writes his own songs. So when I see somebody saying that stuff, it really bothers me. So, but like, I don't take it to heart anymore, because at the end of the day, people are just gonna say what they want to say, and it is what it is.
Right. But Quentin was a collaborator, I guess, in the process.
Yeah, they collaborated on some songs, but people collaborate.
Took it too far,
Right. And Quentin's dope. Quentin's really dope, But like the whole narrative, just somebody just made some fake narrative of, Drake writing in sweatshop and all this stuff. Like, it's just not true, man. Like, I literally seen this guy write some of his greatest songs. Like, how can you have somebody write a song like Fear? That song's so personal. Yeah. It's him, you know what I'm saying? So, like, when I hear people talking about it, I get upset, but, like, I just realize that it just is what it is. People
are such a dominant run.
Yeah.
Too,
so people, when you're on top, people are going to try to take you out. So.
Right.
It's cool.
A record like 6 p.m., man. I played that back so many times.
That was a great one. The whole AM series is...
Yeah, so you started that. Let's take it. You started at 9 a.m. in Dallas, right? What? So that was like, he didn't make the album. He wanted that to be the intro. Like, what happened with that?
It's crazy because I had sent that track, but it was a day. I think the same day.
Oh, it's your fault.
Yeah. I know I created it late.
Timestamp rap.
Yeah, so I was trying to get that one off, but I did it too late. And
9 a.m. in Dallas.
He
That's
just
what
put
started
it. Yeah, exactly. He just put it out there. He's just like, forget this, man. Like, I need to get this off my chest, and he threw it out there, and it's a classic, man. It's a classic.
And then 5 a.m. in Toronto, your hands are in that too, right? Yeah.
5 a.m. in Toronto, 5 p.m. in New York. 6 p.m. in New York. Sorry, I'm tripping. The only one I didn't do was Calabasas. Yeah, so
That's a hot one.
That was
that was hard. Finally,
fucked up,
finals
boy,
killed
boy.
that. Yeah, no, I missed that way, but it's all good. It's all good. Next time.
And then Do Not Disturb, they pretty much call it 7 p.m. in Germany in a sense. Did he record it in Germany at 7 p.m. or you don't even know? Right?
Honestly, I don't even know where he was at that time. I just remember that was one of the tracks I just sent to him because I think he was on the road at that time. So he was like, "This one's special. You got to do something with this."
And you took the samples of Unknown Person, right? They sent you their record or something and you used it?
The sample is from an artist that I work a lot with. Like, she's like my sis, Snow Allegra. We do a lot of work together.
Okay.
Beautiful voice, man. She had sent me a record. I had actually sent her a beat, and she had recorded that, like a chorus over the beat. But I liked how it sounded, and I was just like, send me your vocals. I want to try something with this. So I took her vocals and I added music over it, and then it just created a whole different vibe. And I made a whole different track out of it, and it just turned into that. She's special, man. She's a special artist. She has an amazing voice, and it worked perfectly.
Right. But it's funny because it's like even though you're so acclaimed, you're not afraid to show love to other people and other producers and other artists. I think you
Because
tweeted,
we deserve it.
right?
Yeah.
Like you said, you tweeted that Gold Link's Crew was your favorite song of last year.
Oh, yeah.
Why was that in particular?
That song was so hard. It just slapped. And like everything about that song was perfect to me. It was just a great vibe. That was like my vibe all year. So I love that song. Well, shout out to Goldlink, man, and Brent Fayaz. He killed that hook.
Right.
Yeah.
Shot Glizzy.
I'm not
great
sure.
hook.
Yeah, Shot Glizzy murdered it.
Yeah.
The beat was nuts. I don't even know who produced the beat, but it was crazy. Shout out to whoever produced that beat. It was nuts. So yeah, it was just I like to tweet random shit all the time. So
Yeah.
I was just listening to that song and I'm like, this song's so good, man. I gotta tell everybody about it. So I literally just did that.
And you said Just Blaze's Exhibit A is one of the best beats of all time ever
By
created.
far, that beat is something special. Something special.
A,
It's my
not C. Exhibit A, the before that.
Exhibit A. Exhibit A.
That's my favorite one.
Yeah.
A over C?
Yeah, absolutely. When he has that line about going up Sitch Creek and coming up clean.
Yep.
Something, come on.
Spazzed on that. No, he murdered that one. That's the production on that. I was just wowed by everything. Just is one of my favorite producers of all time, and he's a cool guy, man. Close friend. We keep in touch, and you know, we play Street Fighter together sometimes. And, you know, I beat his ass in Street Fighter, but I mean,
He's got to take those L's?
yeah, he has to take the L's, but he's still one of my favorites ever of all time.
What's some of your favorite beats that you think stand the test of time that really represent you?
One of my favorite beats ever was "Grinding" by Pharrell. The Neptunes, actually, because it was so simple, but yet so effective. I feel like when that came out, that summer, I was in high school, and everybody was just banging that beat on the table and freestyling.
Yeah.
And it was just something so iconic about that bounce of that beat and the simplicity of it and the way, like, Pusha and everybody got on it. It was like almost like some patty cake shit.
Yeah.
And they murdered it. They made like patty cake gangster. You know? So that shit was hard.
I meant your productions though too.
Oh, of my stuff.
Yeah, your stuff.
My favorite. Oh man, there's so much, man. It's like that question. Like I said before, it's like asking, who's
children.
your favorite kid? You know? I don't know. I love all my kids, so I don't. Man, I can't tell you what like my favorite track is. I love all of them in their own way.
Yeah.
You know, but I think 5 p.m. in Toronto is pretty hard. Yeah, that's a pretty hard joint.
How do you avoid falling into like the trends of the day, like musical trends? Because it seems like as if you create your own sound, no two Boi-1da sound like the same. Like, do you just detox? Do you go on a trip or vacation? Like,
yeah, I like to treat my production like art. Like, I'll give you like 1 of 1, 2 of 2s, 3 of 3s, but I don't like to sound similar. I don't like to use the same sounds even at times. I literally will go and deliberately scramble my sound bank just so I don't hear the same sounds. You know, I don't want to make the same thing. I like to reinvent myself. I study guys like Timberland, guys like Pharrell, Dre, you know, who have always pushed the envelope forward and always reinvented themselves. And with this day and age, I feel like music is so fast paced and it's so, what's the word? Like short attention span with the listeners. So you got to just keep it moving and keep it pushing every time. So that's why a lot of people say like you don't have a specific sound, you don't have a tag. I don't do a tag because just some of my favorite of all time don't have tags. So I just want to be amongst guys like that. I want to be known for my music rather than like a cool tag.
Are there certain tags do you think in terms of describing your sound that are consistent? Like how would you describe your sound a certain way?
Yeah, like my tag is just consistent good music. That's why I try to make my tag. But not to take away from anybody with tags, because like it's dope. You know, it's just not me. Yeah. It doesn't represent what I'm trying to do with my music.
No, but do you think like your sound is like an adjective or something that really details your sound? It's inconsistent, like
just loud and like shit hits. Like that's a lot of people say that about
like the slap, knock and slap.
Yeah, we got that slap going on over here. Yeah. So I mean that's what I pride myself in, like the mixes and whatnot. But I like to do different types of music. I don't just make hip hop. I just try to experiment and do.
Right. With all this access now to music and producers collaborate, you think it's harder or easier for a young producer, a novice, to break through?
Yeah, it's definitely easier in this day and age because like back when I was coming up, there was no internet. There was no, you had to go win beat battles and meet people and stuff like that. I feel like, I mean, it's not an easy thing to do, but I feel like this day and age, you can put out a hot song on the internet and literally, like, blow up overnight almost, and it's a little bit easier, but then again, it's also not easy because there's a lot of people. It's very oversaturated, and a lot of people are doing music. A lot of stuff sounds the same, but you can catch a wave definitely in this time.
Yeah. But how do you learn the business? Like, how do you learn to get paid for your beats? Like, there's always big debate of like, producers having to hunt down the payments, and this was, I sent the record, but they said it was for a mixtape. Like, how have you navigated through that through the years?
You kind of just gotta know, like, certain artists. Like I know who's working on an album and like who's doing a mixtape and who's just like. There's certain artists you just know that'll leak your stuff. I just try to go in there and play the tracks for people, or I send it, and if they're really serious about it, then they'll use it, or they're not gonna disrespect me by leaking my music in this day and age, like right now, because I've done so much. I just feel like it's past that point. But yeah,
for younger producers, even like there's a certain amount of paying dues that happens to be in the
it's like almost like you gotta pay dues. But like I feel like for a younger producer coming up, for somebody to hop on their track and mixtape, it's a good thing now.
Right.
Especially with streaming that's going on, and it's like that stuff wasn't in play when I was coming up. So it's like somebody leaked your song, it's just a leak. So with this day and age, like anything can happen. Your song can go viral, and all the connections happen from there, and or your song blows up, all the connections happen from there. So
but it's a quicker path to monetizing it properly.
Exactly.
Right. But you always been like an independent powerhouse. Obviously, you're connected with Drake and the whole OVO camp, but it seems like you never repped OVO. Like, was that always intentional?
No, it's not intentional. I rep OVO.
I mean, but like not an OVO in-house producer. Yeah. Like, you're more so like a work for hire kind of gun, right?
Yeah, like a hired assassin.
Yeah.
Nah, it's just because I'm like a free spirit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not one to. And it's no disrespect to anybody, but I'm not one to just sit and, make all this. I make a lot of music, so I'm not one to sit and make music and just have it sitting there. It's like people gotta hear it. I'm around. I like to go around. I like to sit in studios and vibe with people that I never thought I'd work with, or that would almost not even make sense. Like the other day, I was in the studio with the Chainsmokers, and it's like we made something so dope. And it's like I would have never expected that, really. Like I thought I may have made some like pop music or something that's similar to what they do, but we made something literally like brand new, that's outside of the box, that's dope. And you wouldn't get that if you just don't work with anybody, or if you consistently work with the same people. Like I'm open to working with a lot of people, and I feel like that is the reason. I mean, I've been doing this for 10 years successfully, and I feel like that's a lot of the reason why it's still going on for me, because and stuff is still working for me. Cause
it keeps you inspired too, exactly. I guess, right?
Keeps me inspired, and my mind is open to doing anything. So yeah, it works out, right. And that's just the way I am. I'm a free spirit, man. I need to get out there. I need to go and hear new stuff. I need to mingle. I just need to be out there,
Yeah. But it's funny because Drake and they always preach, you say, since 17, loyalty and no new friends, and like,
Yeah.
why do you think that the bond is still strong, even though you're allowed to still be kind of your own independent person? Why is that bond still so strong with you in that camp?
Because I'm still a loyal guy. Like Drake's my guy. He's number one. You know what I'm saying? So just because I go work with other artists don't mean he's not main priority at all times. It's just for myself, for my own creativity, I need to hear something all over the place. I need to go here, I need to go there, I need to go to Miami, listen to some reggaeton. I need to you know what I'm saying? I need these experiences for my own creativity. I just need to be out. So and it works out. And I always deliver, and he's my guy. That's my main guy.
Yeah.
He comes first. So it's just like it always works out. So nobody really has a problem with it. It's not a loyalty issue.
Yeah.
You know, I'm loyal, and Drake knows that, and we all know that, and that's my personality. Everybody knows that. So
you produced for guys that he sparred with in the past. Like, is that ever come into play? Like with Meek or Joe Bud and people that you worked with?
Yeah. No, it doesn't come into play because it's in the past. You know, like I worked with Meek when he was working with Meek.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I worked with Joe Budden when they didn't even have a problem.
Right.
So, you know, it's not an issue. You know, at the end of the day, we both got careers, and Drake is a rapper. I'm a producer. I feel like a producer's path is more wide open to collaborate with different, especially a person like myself. I'm just more wide open to collaborate than an artist is.
Right.
So, it's just different paths.
I got one last Drake question. On God's Plan, he says a lot about, friends will tell the story if they live past him, like how shit was different with him. Like, what comes to your mind? Like, you're somebody who thought this guy, when nobody else thought, the Degrassi guy, this guy's going to be one of the great ones. You saw it. Yeah. You believed it. So, like, working with him and experiencing these things, what is different about it? Like, what stories come to mind that sort of like, prove, like, the journey you guys have been on and, like, how it's even probably exceeded your expectations?
What's different about Drake is, through everything, through the ups, downs, the success, the clashes, whatever happens, he just maintains the same integrity. He maintains being himself. He's the same guy I knew when I was 17 that he is now, and we talk the same way. Like, he hasn't switched up. So, like, a lot of people, I've seen a lot of people get success and act different or move funny and move weird on you and whatnot, but he's always been the same. He's always been the same with me, and that's my experience with him. He keeps the same energy, and he has the same people around him that he always did. Yeah, and he's just a loyal guy. He's a guy that's really about loyalty, and it's different. He treats that shit like different than anybody else that I've ever seen.
Yeah. Are there any moments that come to mind that give you that validation that wow, like we really did it? Like when we were 17, we dreamed of this shit. Like we really did it. Like,
oh yeah, like I always I think I've told this story before, but there's really one point in time, and this was close to where he found success, but there's a point in time where it was me, him, and my boy, D10, that introduced me to him. We used to work closely together, and there's a point where we were just down. We're like, man, this shit's hard. Like, we don't know what's what. Like, we finished, like, working with these guys that said they were going to invest in our music, and the shit didn't fall through and whatnot.
This is before Best I Ever Had, right?
Yeah, this is before, like, a lot of shit. Yeah. So, yeah, we were just down, man. We're just like, man, we all had our heads down. And I think Drake's mom had came in and gave us, like, a little bit of motivation and said something. But we were really down, and the next week was when he met Lil Wayne. Like, it was like the week after that. But it just goes to show, like, I seen like this meme the other day with the guy digging for rocks, and the guy at the bottom quit, but the guy at the top found like a bunch of diamonds. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it just reminds me of that. So we really worked hard, and there was ups and there was serious downs, and through all adversity, being a kid on a Nickelodeon show to becoming the biggest rapper in the world, like, they would have thought that it wouldn't happen, but like we believed in it. So,
do you think it was hard also because you're coming from Canada?
Oh, definitely harder than it comes from being from Canada. I think it's a lot harder because I feel like America didn't really take us serious. Like, I remember people saying, people rap in Canada? Like, there's rappers in Canada? I never knew that. Like, I didn't know people rap in Canada. And, we didn't have any outlets. We had a few guys to look at as motivation, like Cardi, Cardinal, Socks. And, but there was never, like, that guy, like, or there was never that kind of feeling of hope. And Drake created that for a lot of us, and he kicked the doors down, really.
Right. I know you also want to work with Beyonce. Why hasn't that happened yet, man?
Hopefully it happens soon. I know it's gonna happen soon. I like to put stuff into the universe,
Right.
and it never fails. It never fails. So, I feel like it's gonna happen. I feel like it's happen. But timing is everything. So I'm not worried about it.
Do you make beats with people in mind in particular, or do you just
Sometimes.
Okay.
I like to make beats with people in mind sometimes, but a lot of the time I'm aimlessly making music. I feel like that works better because when you try to make music in the mind for somebody, you try to make music in the mind of something they've already done. And a lot of the time artists, when they do something, they're kind of off it, you know?
Right.
Like imagine me trying to make beats that sound like College Dropout for Kanye when he was working on 808s and Heartbreaks or Graduation.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Sometimes an artist is just on a total different vibe.
Yeah.
And what you got to do is just catch the vibe or just aimlessly make music. Sometimes it just falls upon where it needs to fall.
So you're constantly creating, right? Like how many tracks are we sitting on? Like thousands and
Bro, you really want to know, bro? It's
Yes.
a lot. It's a lot, man. Like
Wants the hard drive.
Yeah, the hard drive is crazy right now. I couldn't even tell you. It's probably over like three, maybe like close to like 2,000.
Wow.
I haven't really checked, but like a lot of tracks like ready, and I just like I'll go on stints. Like there'll be like a whole month where I don't make music, but then I'll go to LA for like 2 weeks and make like 40 tracks. So get in the studio with people and do something crazy. Like I did something with Lana Del Rey. I made from scratch with her on her last album. Or I'll just go and zone out by myself with a few other producers and make like 30 tracks. Yeah, and yeah, it's different every time.
Right.
Yeah.
You talk about like, you know, that the grind with you and Drake, but for yourself particular, like what was that transition like going from anonymity to becoming a super producer?
Sometimes it really doesn't even hit me. I'm just doing what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? So, people mention that a lot, like, yo, like, man, you super producer, but I'm really not paying attention to what's going on half of the time. So I'm really just doing what I'm doing, and now I'm really seeing what's going on, and I'm enjoying it. But the process was a lot of hard work, and it just took a lot to get there, you know. And with producing, it comes in waves, you know what I'm saying? Like you know what I'm saying? I had a crazy year in 2016. Yeah. Crazy years before that, and you just gotta realize as a producer that like it's not always gonna be your time, and you know everything comes in waves. There's ups and downs with everything, and I've just become comfortable with that. So,
before we get out of here, what are your set goals you think for the rest of the year, besides your label and Joyner and obviously getting some more work with Drake on his album coming soon?
No, we definitely got that coming. Just one of my goals is to do this compilation album. And,
your album.
Yeah.
So what can you tell us about your album?
It's a lot of your favorite artists on it, and it's a lot of cool, dope, unexpected stuff that came together really well. I'm working on it. I'm really in the beginning stages of working on it, but it's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be real quality music, and I don't want to ruin too much or any of the surprises really. But it's a lot of people's favorite songs. A lot of people you wouldn't expect to be on songs together, and
so look for like unique collaborations.
Very different collaborations, like outside of the box stuff that makes sense, you know.
Are you handpicking? Are you handpicking the collaborations or like?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm definitely really taking my time with this. I want to make a beautiful body of work, and yeah, I'm definitely handpicking who I'm working with, and you know, it's just a vibe. It's gonna be a vibe. I just can't wait for everybody to hear.
Is you gonna shoot videos? You gonna be in the front doing videos of
it? It's gonna. Nah, I can't
drop a masterpiece with that. Or you gonna?
Nah, it's me. I'm really more of a. I'm not really a guy like that.
Yeah.
You know,
You're still gonna play the back.
Yeah, I'm gonna play the background, but I'm gonna be out there at the same time. But it's really not my personality to be that guy in front of the camera.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna make some cool, artistic, real artsy stuff that people enjoy.
You did buy some condoms and it started from the bottom.
I
video,
did.
That was an incredible acting moment there.
I got those for a friend. Promise.
Yeah. Word up.
I'm glad we came out here, man.
Thank you. Fucking the game, Boi-1da.
Thank you very much, man.
10 weeks. We doing 11, 12, 13, 14, 15?
Yeah, I made a bet with some friends on the weeks that it's gonna do. So I think I think it was 16.
Ooh. Boyz II Men, End of the Road.
Jackson.
I don't know. We'll see what it does. But man, it's just a moment, and I just thank God. I just thank God for everything that's happening, man. It's amazing.
Ooh, all right, you're amazing, man. Boi-1da, thank you,
Yes,
brother.
sir. Thank you, guys.
Rap Radar Podcast.
Got it.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.